Welcome back, guys. Angel of the Night 091 here, coming at you with another Pokemon online competition. This one is Trick Magic, where you can only use Ghost-type Pokemon. Now, many of you guys know that in the last week or so, I was actually on a trip with Amber to Las Vegas. Now, that is a huge trip there for us, considering we live in the little province of PEI, Canada. And you know what? The biggest part of the trip is that we got to visit the Zak Bagans Haunted Museum. Now, if you guys don't know who Zak Bagans is a lead paranormal investigator for the Ghost Adventures group. And he has a haunted museum down there full of cursed items, dolls, a whole bunch of paranormal objects. And we got to do a guided tour through his museum. And as well, we also got to do a flashlight tour. Now, the flashlight tour allows us to go through and explore his entire haunted museum and paranormal investigate. Now, if you guys haven't watched any paranormal investigations, you're probably thinking to yourself, how the heck do you paranormal investigate? Well, there's this neat object called a spirit box, and I just so happen to have one here that I actually purchased from Zak Bagans Museum. It is a device that basically scans radio frequencies at a fast rate, so that way no clear words or sounds can come through unless it's something that's manipulated by like a paranormal experience, like a ghost or something that's manipulating the energy around the device. So what we're going to do we are going to be using the spirit box here tonight, so that way we can try to capture some paranormal stuff that may be occurring. Now, this is not my normal kind of content. I'm a huge fan of the paranormal. We've watched every episode and series of Ghost Adventures. We've watched a whole bunch of other series, but primarily Ghost Adventures is our favorite. But we will be doing this because all of my ghost-type Pokemon are named after something from Zak Bagans' Haunted Museum. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to show you here what we've done. I have an entire ghost-type team already set up and already configured here, ready to go. They're already registered. I will go over them here with you right now. So if we take a look here, we have ourselves a Gengar. Now, that's pretty obvious, right? Gengar with a cursed body. Gengar is actually named after the haunted doll Gretchen. Okay, now Gretchen, I'm pretty sure Gretchen was screaming at us when we were using the spirit box at the haunted museum, and I just had to add Gretchen to the team because I'm going to be honest with you guys, his museum absolutely terrifies me, but in a good way. Like, I was expecting to go in and have some sort of experience, and that's exactly what I wanted. I'm a huge fan of this stuff. I needed to have these experiences because I don't know about you guys, but you probably heard me talk about this before. Amber and I actually have our own experiences that happen around in our daily lives. She's sensitive. I'm sensitive. We have experiences, okay? You guys are going to be like, oh, Corey, you're freaking crazy. Absolutely not. Now, one thing I'm going to suggest is that when I go through these Pokemon, you give the utmost respect to the names that are there. Do not, be rude. Do not go, yeah, okay, this name's this, or, don't be that way, because some of these things that I'm going to be going over, I'm actually going to put the pictures up on the screen. So one thing I'm going to suggest is there's one doll in particular, Peggy. Do not look her in the eyes, please. She is known to give people health-related issues and heart attacks, okay? So be respectful. So we have Gengar here named after Gretchen. We're going to go with that Hypnosis, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, and Sludge Bomb. One thing I want to say is that with the Focus Blast, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to put Thunderbolt onto it just because of Basco Legion, but we're going to give it a shot anyways with the Focus Blast because, of course, some Gold Dangos like to go for Terra typing of Steel. The next Pokemon that we have here is actually Spiritomb. Now, Spiritomb is named after Ed Gein, and Ed Gein was a serial killer that actually used to peel the skin off of his victims and make objects with them, such as like lamps, suits, that kind of idea, okay? There is a cauldron that he used to boil his victims in, and it is at the Zak Bagans Haunted Museum. One thing I have to say is that when we went into this room with the cauldron, Amber and I were actually hissed at, like audibly. We didn't have to use any paranormal equipment to hear it. It literally hissed at us. And then when we asked a question, we got "good God." Okay? Really weird vibes in that room. And we got the word portal when we asked about the cauldron. Next Pokemon is going to be Peggy. And Peggy is one of the most haunted objects at his museum. You can only have 5 minutes in Peggy's room. Any more and they pull you out. Reason being is that people have passed out, people have been pushed, people have been insulted, people have been attacked by this doll. Okay? Nothing but the most respect. Okay? Whenever you see Peggy, make sure you say hi Peggy and bye Peggy. Okay? Be respectful. Next Pokemon that we've got here is one of my favorite ones that I've nicknamed. It is the Dyybukk. Okay, we've named Zoroark from Hisuian the Dyybukk. And the reason being is that in the museum, there is one particular item that is extremely active and is considered to be the most haunted item in the world. Okay, most haunted item in the world. This was a box. There's over, I believe, 12 of them in total in the world. They're all split up. They are not to be in the same place at the same time. It is said that the Dyybukk box was a box that was used during the Holocaust to trap evil spirits inside. Now, these evil spirits are said to have unfinished business, and they tend to take over other people, like possession, in order to complete what they never completed in life. It's extremely evil. Again, it is one of those rooms where he has this box under a dome, and then he has it also surrounded by prayer. Okay? No one should touch the box, nor should anyone open the box. Okay? I lasted about 30 seconds in that room because after I gotten a name out of the spirit box, when I asked what its name was, it ended up screeching at me. So much so that when we asked the guide why is this screaming at us? The guide actually told us they had never heard the spirit box scream like that around the Dyybukk box. Same thing goes for Peggy. Same thing goes for the haunted dolls room. So we were extremely spooked for sure, but it is an experience that I'm never going to forget. Okay. Next Pokemon that we have here, I should probably show you some of these moves while I'm at it, actually. I'm going to go with Bitter Malice, Burning Jealousy, and Dark Pulse. Now, the reason I'm going to go with the Burning Jealousy, of course, is because, like the Dybbukks, they are having unfinished business. So I figured it's kind of jealousy that they never finish things in life. So we're going to go with that. We're going to try to Illusion, maybe Gengar, maybe Fluttermane, maybe our Cerulege. Fluttermane, of course, is the standard Fluttermane. Nothing really to go over here. The Spiritomb, of course, we're going with the Sucker Punch, Confuse Ray, Poltergeist, and Lash Out. Now, if we go into Cerulege, we actually called this one Manson. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you a little story here. In the Haunted Museum, there is an entire section dedicated to Charles Manson. If you guys don't know who he is, go look it up. However, you're going to find a lot of disturbing things. The museum is actually the final resting place of the ashes of Charles Manson. So one thing I can recall from stories and news reports and things like that we've heard over the years is that, Charles Manson influenced people, the whole helter-skelter thing. And, of course, they went around killing people by stabbing them. So I figured, you know what, this guy's got some pretty big daggers. He's on fire. I assume Charles Manson's probably in hell. So I'm going to use Cerulege. Now, Corey, that sounds like an insult. I'm pretty sure that's almost fact. But when we were in the room for the serial killers, they also had John Wayne Gacy's costume. He was a clown. We got that onto the spirit box. But the biggest thing I'm going to remember about that room is I was actually rushed from behind, felt the chills go from head to toe. All the hairs stood on my arm, and I had chicken skin. Okay? It was a terrifying experience in that room. Most people in that room will feel like a stabbing sensation in their stomach. Thankfully, I did not feel that, but I did have something rush up behind me. Definitely an intimidation. Next item or next Pokemon is going to be Mimikyu. Now, you can't really have a ghost team without Mimikyu because, quite frankly, Mimikyu is one of those big bad ghost types. Plus, it also has Disguise. I always want to have an additional, an additional Focus Sash. Okay, so we're going with a pretty standard Mimikyu here. Of course, Jolly, Shadow Claw, Shadow Snake, Play Rough, and Sword Stance. With the Cerulege, mind you, the Terra Blast, it is a grass type with Poltergeist, Bitter Blade, and Shadow Sneak. With the Mimikyu, of course, we're going to call this one Cynthia. Cynthia is another haunted doll from the doll room at Zak's museum. It is behind glass, and with good reason. Nothing but creepy and strange vibes coming from that doll. I'm pretty sure that was the doll that was screaming at us. Okay? We only went back to the doll room twice. It happened both times. Okay? So Cynthia and Gretchen both share the same room. However, Gretchen is not behind a glass dome or anything. It's just on the shelf. Those dolls tend to fall off the shelves, but this particular doll, Gretchen, also likes to say things in a kid's voice. Very creepy. Okay. Ooh, hopefully we don't get disconnected from the servers while we're playing. Okay, so we are going to get into the battles here. Now, as I do this, I'm going to set it up so that way you guys are going to get the Pokemon battle cries and attack sounds. I'm going to take out the background noise from the battle matches. And when I use the spirit box, you're going to hear a sound that goes like... because that's actually flipping through all the different stations on the AM frequency in order to try to communicate with spirits. Now, I'm hoping that in this scenario where we're going to be doing this, we get some sort of voices come across the spirit box. Now, I'm going to be recording it on the device and adding it in later. I'm going to be hooking it up to an auxiliary cable. Okay, so I'm going to hear it live. You guys, however, will hear it in the recording. If there is something that is said that I can make out, I will try to put it on the screen in clear text. If I can't make it out, I'm going to put unknown, okay, or just not put something up. If you guys hear something that I don't, make sure you post it in the comment section below. We're going to do this for all 45 matches, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to turn on the spirit box.
Xbox. Scanning. FM.
So right now it's on FM mode. I'm going to change it to AM.
Scanning. AM.
Okay, we're going to go through the scan. You're going to hear it do this. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to hit record in 1, 2, 3. It is now recording. So I'm going to plug this in so I can hear it in my headset. And we are a go, guys. We are officially going into the Trick Magic tournament here. So let's go to the Battle Stadium. Now, the other item that I'm going to be using here, I'm going to be using my cell phone, and I'm going to be using an app called the iOvilus. This is a dictionary device that allows us to receive words that have been selected by spirits. So I'm turning this on. As you can see, are there any spirits here? So, if any spirits communicate, they will be putting some text up onto the screen. and I will have a chat log. Okay? This will not show up into the recording. However, I will show you guys any words that come up. Okay, we are going to go to online competition. We're going to go to start. We're going to go to battle. We are going to go with no background noise. Now, the reason we're doing this is so that way I can add the spirit box session in the actual recording. Alright guys, so we are up against a Zoroark Frostlass. We've got a Fluttermane, Mimikyu, Poltegeist, I think it is, and Dragapult. So first thing I want to do is I want to go in with the Dyybukk. We are going to be selecting Peggy. And we will also be taking, I think, Cynthia for this. Now this is single battle, of course. So again, we've got the Dyybukk box, we've got Peggy the doll, we've also got Cynthia the doll. Now, what I'm hoping to see out of the team of my opponent here, I'm hoping to see the Frostlass. I'm hoping to see possibly Dragapult. The reason why we're going to say Dragapult here is because we've got Mimikyu with us, which is Cynthia. Now, while we are getting into the battles here, we've got the recording from the Spirit Box session going. We've got the iOvilus going here. We are going to be asking some questions. So while I was at the Haunted Museum with Amber, we were screamed at an awful lot. I would like to know if there were any spirits that can communicate with us here at this time. We just received a word on the Ovilus. It says bacon. Now, I haven't had any bacon today. I did have bacon yesterday. Kind of funny. But we will let it keep going here. Bacon is the word. Can any spirits come through the spirit box and say bacon? Are there any spirits here that know of the Dyybukk box? Can any spirits tell me my name? Okay, so our Dyybukk box has been exposed. It is the Hisuian Zoroark, and we managed to get some awesome hits off onto this Poltegeist. Okay, we're going to finish it off here with the Bitter Malice. Okay, here we go, another Bitter Malice, and that is going to be able to finish off the Dragapult. Perfect. I think the Dragapult was probably supposed to be a physical attacker, however, we're never going to know in this situation. So, this is the power of the Dyybukk, okay, destroying our opponent's team just like so. If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to post your comments. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.